and welcome to Last Night's Watch, your weekly Game of Thrones discussion show right here on GamesRadar. I'm Andy Hartup and I'm joined as ever by Lauren O'Callaghan.
This week we're talking about the 9th episode, Battle of the Bastards, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'm begging you, turn away now because you really don't want this episode spoiled.
We're going to be talking about what's happening to Dany and Meereen, but first, let's have a look at the Battle of the Bastards. Your watch has begun.
So, as probably everyone guessed from the episode title this week, this sees Jon Snow...
The dog ate his face. Can we address that, please? Because it's eating me up inside. The dog ate his face.
You've got to wait.
I can't wait.
So much happens before that.
I have to talk about it now.
All right, go on.
It ate his face. Everything about the Battle of the Bastards is great, and we'll come on to it in a minute. I just thought that was a perfect end for Ramsay. Like, an absolutely perfect end. And Sansa was so cold with it.
Oh, I love the smirk as well as she walked away. I was just like, yeah. Because let's be honest, it was pretty brutal, but we all enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. And you could tell, like, when the dogs came in and they were sort of, you know, like a bit loyal to him at first. We're going, hello.
And then he was like, what's that smell? Oh.
Smells
like dinner.
Smells like face.
Oh, God.
Your reaction to that was priceless.
Yeah. Yeah.
You freaked out a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I freaked out a little bit. It's pretty gruesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was such an amazing end to Ramsay, and I think everything about it, like when the giant busts in through the doorway and when Jon sort of approaches him and blocks all his arrows and then punches into bits, and then the way Sansa sees him off, absolutely fantastic end to it. But I've jumped ahead, but I had to get this thing out about the dog with the face.
You have no self-discipline.
I know. So let's talk about the Battle of the Bastards. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Like, perfectly executed.
It's been quite a while since we've had a massive battle like that, and I think it looked really good as well, like not just from a storytelling point of view, but actually the look and the feel of it was amazing. Like, it was pretty brutal. It didn't look like it was...
the most brutal battle I've ever seen in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
And that bit where Jon's like getting buried, I was just like, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah.
It was, it was so perfectly pitched. Like, we were talking about the bit where Ramsay comes up and rides up to Jon Snow and his party and starts taunting him in the usual way, going, oh, you can surrender, and oh, lovely to see you again, Sansa. And
that felt a little flat to me.
It did, yeah.
Because I was ready to kind of be appalled by Ramsay, like, because of course he was going to say something disgusting to Sansa. But actually, it wasn't as creepy as I thought it was going to be, and I kind of got the feeling it was because no one there was giving him a reaction, because there's something more important going on, you know, there's something more important to come. So, like, yeah, he can, you know, be immature and, like, say these terrible things, but it wasn't really affecting anyone.
Mm-hmm. But still, even at the start of the battle, like, the minute he brought Rickon out and then cut his bonds, you thought, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this is happening. Yeah. That bit is the ultimate way of Ramsay proving that he is a complete, well, not bastard in the bastard sense, but he's a complete bastard as well.
Person.
Yeah, a terrible man. Yeah. And it's
so much worse because you know it's coming as well. Like, there was no way Rickon was making it out of this episode alive. Like, no way. Mm-hmm. But it's so much worse because there's a part of you, even though you know it's not going to happen, there's a part of you that's like, run a bit faster, like, Jon, like, get him.
Zigzag.
Yeah, I was screaming at the TV a little bit.
You were saying that, like, when all his army started going, no.
I was saying that.
We were saying that as well. We were going, don't do it. And then he just charged in, and it was just absolutely incredible. So the battle itself, it was quite templated in a way, because there was the old, you're the inferior force, you're doing quite well, now it looks really bad for you, you're completely surrounded. And then, hooray, the Knights of the Eyrie are back. You know, it was quite predictable in the way that it played out, but because they filmed it in such a way and paced it in such a way, I think it was just really, really well done. You shared the emotional highs and lows with the people on the ground, although, you know, with less fear of having your legs chopped off or your guts spilled out. Yeah,
they certainly didn't hold back. I mean, the battle sequence actually reminded me quite a bit of the Deep Dell battle in Lord of the Rings, because in that, you know, they're having a last-ditch attempt to win.
Thing,
and then, you know, the cavalry rides in. It is something we've seen quite a bit before, but you can't deny it works.
Yeah, it's a formula that absolutely works. Now, just taking that a little bit further, what do we think that now means for the Knights of the Eyrie? Because they're here, Littlefinger's there. He's going to expect something. He didn't just turn up to say, hey, I'm here, out of the good of my heart, I've given you all these knights and won the battle for you. He's going to want something. I think I know what that is, but...
Yeah. Well, we found out a few weeks ago, someone online did a great kind of investigative piece on the letter that Sansa wrote, and it looks like she wrote it to Littlefinger,
yeah, she did, yeah.
and basically said, you know, if you come to our age, you get a free pass. So whether that's just forgiveness, probably not. I think he's going to want something more than that.
Do we think she's offered herself in marriage to him?
I mean,
because that is what he wants, isn't it?
That would be the logical. I mean, that would definitely get them on their side. I just don't know whether Sansa's willing to go into another unhappy marriage that quickly.
Well, maybe she did promise him marriage. Let's sort of think about this. If she promised him marriage, he would turn up because he always loved Catelyn Stark. Like, she was the love of his life growing up. But do we also think that she's going to commit to it because she knows how to play the game now?
I'm loving her this season. Yeah. Like, before this season, I was never a huge Sansa fan, but you know, she's just been amazing. Like, this episode especially, where she's like kind of smirking at Ramsay while he's being eaten. The exchange she has with Jon before the battle as well, where she's like, you know, I'm a valuable asset here, like, please listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. And then when she turns up on horseback next to Littlefinger, basically saving the day, she's just absolutely amazing. And I think you're right. I think, you know, anyone who gets involved with her right now, who has an agreement with her, wants to watch out.
So I guess Winterfell is back with the Stark banners flying. We had a nice little moment there when they tore down the
slow-mo banner falling on Winterfell. It was like, yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. So do we think Jon and Sansa are now going to unite the North? I mean, what's left of the North to unite?
No doubt their work is not done. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm more interested to know, like, are they going to rule together? Because together they're quite strong. You know, they're Ned Stark's children. One of them's technically a bastard, one of them's a woman, which shouldn't matter, but apparently it does.
Do we know he's Ned Stark's son?
Well, we've talked about this before, and he's probably not. But as far as everyone else is concerned, he is, for the time being.
I think Sansa's going to roll.
I think so, because actually she's got a better claim to be the head of the house.
But I think they'll accept her now as well, because I mean, she's shown her strengths, shown her character. If she's got Littlefinger's support, whatever it is, you know, she's going to have the support of the Tullys as well. So I think it'll be her that rules, and maybe there's something else for Jon Snow to do. Maybe he goes back to the Wall and helps try and defend that. I don't know. But that's probably something, maybe for next episode, probably for season 7. Yeah. Now, it's time to move on to our trivia question of the week.
Yes, okay.
And last week, I asked you, what was the, Brienne of Tarth is from Tarth, obviously, and what was the Tarth also known as? It's known as the Sapphire Isle.
Yeah.
A number of you got it right, and people like Faceless Man Productions, he sounds quite into Game of Thrones, Mark England, and Jacob Nehren checks notes. Well done, guys. You and loads of other people got it right. It was absolutely right. It was the Sapphire Isles. Now it's time for you to ask me your question.
Yeah. Okay, so a bit different this week, but I actually noticed in this episode there's a slight mistake. You know where Yara is talking to Daenerys when they head to Meereen?
Yeah.
And she basically says Westeros has never had a queen, you know, when she's asking whether the Iron Islands has ever had a queen. Yeah. Technically, there has been a queen of Westeros before. Do you remember who that was?
Does Cersei count as Queen Regent? I think she probably does, because Tommen wasn't old enough to rule, so Cersei became Queen Regent.
If you think Andy's wrong, let us know your answer in the comments below, and check back next week to find out the answer. But for now, we're going to be talking about Daenerys and what's happening in Meereen.
Despite appearances, I think you'll find the city's on the rise. Perhaps we should take shelter.
Okay, now we're going to talk about Daenerys, the other sort of war battle bit right at the start. She comes back, not too pleased with the way things have worked out, but I think Tyrion manages to win her around just by being honest. Yeah. Like, he was going, oh, well, yes, this, and that, the other. I think she's just more impressed by his honesty. And I don't think there's any surprise about this bit. The Masters demand that she surrenders. She says, well, quite rightly, no, I've got 3 enormous dragons, and your ships look quite flammable. And yeah,
that's exactly how she put it. Yeah. Quite frankly, no.
That's what I would have said, but that's why I'm not in Game of Thrones. I think we've seen the end of the Masters now. Yeah, right?
I think they've got the point. I mean, it took them a while, but yeah, they've definitely gotten the point. And yeah, I really enjoyed her kind of coming back in this icy stare that she was giving Tyrion, like, you know, just completely deadpan while he kind of stands there and shuffles from foot to foot, being like, I know this looks bad, but actually I've done quite a good job.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, okay then. And then she wants to burn everyone, and he's like, maybe that's not such a great idea. Like, that was quite nice as well, kind of, you know, reminding her what her father did and how that ended for him. Because, you know, a lot of people have kind of made the point that she's kind of erring on the side of crazy Targaryen lately.
I think that's the way she's going.
Yeah.
I think she's probably going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Come at the end. I don't. She's coming like towards a big collision between her and her forces, like the Dothraki, the Unsullied, and whatever's left of Westeros now. I don't know what that army would be, whatever's left of Westeros. But I can't see it just ending peacefully. I can't see her rocking up to King's Landing and going, right, this is mine now, I've got these big dragons. Jon Snow going, that's fine, there's all the White Walkers up there, we'll just deal with them, you just save it here. So there's conflict coming. I don't know how they're going to resolve it. I don't think it's quite as clear yet.
No.
But I think Daenerys, that all she knows how to do is conquer.
Yeah.
She hasn't known anything else, and she's got a bit of the old Targaryen.
Yeah.
Ooh, not quite right in there.
Yeah, she needs more experience of actually ruling instead of just conquering, which, you know, in fairness, will come with time. But I think it's important that they point out in this episode how quick she is to kind of jump to crucifixion and like burning people alive.
They made quite a heavy-handed point of that.
Yeah, because you can conquer people and you can defeat people without, you know, physically and mentally torturing them to death.
Or literally torturing them and killing them, as she was implying.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of interesting points, actually, that come out of this.
Theon and Yara turned up pretty quickly.
Yeah, oh God.
Just like 1 minute, they're kind of just sorting out the Masters. The next minute, House Greyjoy's in the throne room, basically pitching the
I mean, they
alliance.
must have had their ships parked up behind the Masters
Basically.
to all be burnt.
There was a
down.
bit of a queue, but now the Masters have gone.
Yeah. Oh, can we park over here in this port? Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit. That was teleportation. There's no way they could have got that. And they've done like a few times this series, like with Littlefinger suddenly turning up at the Eyrie and stuff like that.
But I'm okay with it because it really needed to move on. I was just happy to see that something was happening with Daenerys this episode.
Yeah.
And I really loved like the interchange she had with Yara. I just thought it was great.
Yeah. I think that's quite an uneasy alliance. I don't think it's as solid as what people think it's built on. Like Yara's like, oh no, it's fine. We won't go reaving anymore. It's absolutely okay.
This is my honest space.
That's all I've ever known, but okay. Now, the other thing that the way that Tyrion convinced Daenerys to adopt the "you can come and surrender" tactic, Tyrion was saying the reason that Jaime killed the Mad King is because he filled King's Landing with wildfire. It's all under the city. Now that takes us slightly away from Meereen, but I think that is the rumour that Qyburn has found out and has whispered to Cersei in King's Landing, that there is in fact
like
all this wildfire all under the city.
Yeah.
And I think it's very possible that next week when she goes in for a trial, it's all just going to go, because she's going to order
Are you trying to say that she will burn King's Landing to the ground to spite everyone and save herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, she totally would.
Because you know, it all goes back to that thing at the start of the season where she was telling Jaime, or Jaime was telling her, fuck everyone who isn't us.
Yeah.
And I think that includes everyone in King's Landing, because she hates them all, and they all hate her.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our line of the week, which is fittingly, it's where Tyrion is talking about how things have been since Daenerys went away from Meereen. Let's take a look at it now.
The city's on the rise?
Meereen is strong. Commerce has returned to the markets. The people are behind you. Well, not all the people, of course. No ruler that ever lived had the support of all the people.
I love a bit of Tyrion. He's great, isn't he? What? He is, he's really good. And there's only a little bit of him to go around as well. So that's why you can only love a bit of him.
Oh my god.
Good that, isn't it? Oh, people are going to complain about that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Okay, as there is only really 2 plot lines going on this week, let's talk about what's going to happen next week. Let's pick up where we left off with the Battle of the Bastards. Jon and Sansa are going to have a little head-to-head talking about, well, they've got more problems than Ramsay was only one of their problems, plus I think they've got a bit of a trust issue now.
Yeah. I think you can see in the trailer it looks like they're kind of having a bit of a conversation about how Sansa's not trusted Jon, which I assume is in reference to her not telling him about writing the letter to Littlefinger. Now, granted, that did save the day, but I think he's kind of got a point. You know, they're family, they have to trust each other, they're strongest together.
the last thing, obviously, we're talking about next week is Sir Davos and Melisandre.
Oh yeah, he's found out what she's done.
I mean, that was pretty convenient. It's like, oh, just having a little wander around.
What's this? It's a pyre.
Oh, look, a little burnt horse in it, similar to the one I gave to Stannis' daughter, Shireen.
I mean, I don't even know why Jon Snow was like, let's camp right where Stannis did before his entire army got
Well, it's
sorted.
obviously a good spot.
But not that
Maybe
good.
they left some tents there or something,
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit ugly. I can see Sir Davos, I don't know, do you think he'll kill her?
Well, I think from what we've seen from the trailer, he's going to force her to kind of tell Jon Snow and Sansa what she's done. I'm kind of happy about that though, because she's been boring as hell at the moment. She's just sitting in a tent sulking all the time. So I hope she's either going to die or maybe get a fight
she's
back.
going to die.
I have no patience for boring characters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, old what's her name, Arya should have been killed off episodes ago.
Tell me about it.
Snooze fest.
Yeah.
All right, that's it from us for this week. As ever, let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you like the video, hit like. If you want to make sure you don't miss another episode, which to be fair is only next week, hit subscribe. That's it from us for this week. For now, your watch has ended.